What's up, guys? Back at it with a brand new video, and today we're going to be talking about Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul. Now, before we get started, I was on extended hiatus for a little bit. I took a little bit longer off than I wanted to from the channel, but we're going to get back in the groove and consistent uploads from here on out. So, anyway, guys, Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua is this week, Miami, Florida, not on Netflix, no pay-per-view required, Friday, December 19th. And you got to give credit to Jake because a lot of people thought that it wasn't going to happen. Then it did happen. Then they say he's going to pull out and do a bait and switch with an old fighter. But no, it's looking like Jake is going to actually show up, get in the ring, and fight Anthony Joshua. So, got to give him respect there. Now, the title of this video is Why Jake Paul has a Chance to Upset Anthony Joshua. And that's not rage bait. That's my actual opinion. And no, it's not because I think it's fixed. It's not because I think AJ's going to take a dive or he's been paid off. But before you get all angry, though, I'm not saying that Jake Paul's going to win. I'm not saying that my prediction is he's going to win. My prediction for the fight is that Anthony Joshua will win, probably by, I would say, a TKO, third, fourth round stoppage, maybe second round. But that's besides the point. I do think Jake Paul has a genuine chance to upset Anthony Joshua. A small chance, but it's there. And I don't think that chance would be present with any of the top 10 heavyweights, right? I don't think Jake Paul would have a chance to beat Usyk. I don't think he would have a chance to beat Fabio Wardley. I don't think he would have a chance to beat Tyson Fury or Joseph Parker or Martin Bakole or Ajit Kabiel or Zheli Zhang or, any of these other guys. However, the reason why I'm giving him a chance against Anthony Joshua are for a few reasons. So first off, Anthony Joshua has a weak chin. Now, we don't know if Jake Paul will be able to crack Anthony Joshua's chin because the guys who have cracked it, like Daniel Dubois and Andy Ruiz, are legit heavyweights and are, obviously much higher level boxers than Jake Paul. But Jake Paul does have knockout power. He's slept multiple opponents. Now, were they the most high caliber? No, but that power is there. And Anthony Joshua has been, buzzed and hurt badly before. This is not a guy like a Usyk who's never hit the canvas. And also, is that Anthony Joshua does not have the recovery. So I don't think if Jake Paul, if he hits AJ hard, he's not going to put him to sleep. But the question is that when AJ gets up, is he going to be able to recover? Because a guy like Tyson Fury, he gets up and he recovers instantly. Like he's perfectly fine. He's fluid. He's into the, back into it. But AJ, when he gets knocked down, he fights like 4 or 5 rounds after that, on Bambi legs, like he's badly concussed or something, right? And that will be Jake Paul's opportunity if he could hurt Anthony Joshua, knock him down, to capitalize on it, knowing that AJ has a much weaker recovery compared to these other elite heavyweights, right? The next reason is that stylistically, Jake Paul does fit the mold of heavyweights who have given Anthony Joshua problems, right? Now, Jake Paul is shorter. He is probably going to be faster than Anthony Joshua. And those kind of heavyweights have given him problems like Alexander Usyk, Andy Ruiz, guys that have a lot of hand speed or quicker hand speed, guys that are light on their feet. Just those faster, kind of more compact guys have given a guy like Anthony Joshua issues. And Jake Paul has correctly outlined that, AJ is a little stiff. I don't think he's the best, defensively. He does have some deficiencies there. Now, when Jake Paul says, "Oh, I'm actually more skilled than Anthony Joshua," he's a no-skilled, bodybuilder, that's going too far, right? Yes, Anthony Joshua started boxing late, but, he is still a unified champion, gold medalist. Like, let's not act like he's Deontay Wilder, who's, like, very deficient in some areas. AJ is still much more skilled than Jake Paul, but there is that chance that, if Jake Paul is, if he can, cause some problems in the pocket, if he's quick enough, It's possible, man. Not likely, but stylistically, I'm just saying. And finally is the mental game, right? Now, boxing, I'll, there's, a quote that like, I mean, I don't know the exact percentage, but a large part of the game is mental, right? And I think there's validity to that, right? Anthony Joshua, we don't know where his mental is at. The last time we seen him, he kind of got his aura sapped away by Daniel Dubois after he got KO'd badly in front of 90,000 people. The last time he was in the United States, he got put in aura debt by Andy Ruiz after he got upset and TKO'd. So I don't know where Anthony Joshua's mental is at because it was looking like after he knocked out Ngannou that he was back. He's at the top of the game. He's going to steamroll Dubois and become a champion again. And that kind of all went away. And I don't know where his head is at, right? Is he coming in with something to prove with confidence? Or is he perhaps a little shook that I went from a unified champion to the B side for Jake Paul, right? So I don't know. I just can't pinpoint exactly because he does look confident in the build-up. He's looking, prepared in the face-off and in the interviews, right? So there's no red flags there. But you don't know when he gets in that ring, especially when you're coming off a really bad knockout loss. Some fighters are never the same after that. And meanwhile, you have Jake Paul, and whether you want to say he's faking it or not, I don't. I think he's being authentic. That he's confident. I think when he says, "Hey, I can beat Anthony Joshua," I'm in what And this is a call out from over a year ago, right? I think Jake Paul and his team believe that they have a chance of beating Anthony Joshua. And I do think he was chosen for that reason because of all the top heavyweights, that puncher's chance is there with AJ. So anyway, guys, wrap things up. That's why I think Jake Paul has a chance to upset Anthony Joshua from AJ's, lack of chin, poor recovery, from his history with, having trouble with smaller fighters, and with Jake Paul being very confident and Anthony Joshua's mental is still unknown. There could be some sparks, that could maybe ignite, and maybe there's an upset in the works. Who knows? Again, not my official prediction. I think Anthony Joshua is going to win, but I'm not going to be one of those guys to say Jake Paul has zero chance. It's impossible. No, it's definitely possible, and there is a chance. At the end of the day, this is heavyweight boxing, and one punch can change it all, right? So anyway, guys, let me know in the comments what you think. Am I crazy for thinking Jake Paul has a chance, or am I actually based for this? And let me know what topics you want to be covered in the next videos. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks.